Whoa. Hello all. Got my killer Dover setup in. It's just, feeling terrible, so I'm not working on it so much as just making in-race adjustments. I just ran some laps to refamiliarize myself. And I noticed something. This setup is really fast, but it builds tight. So I'm like, okay. So I've been trying to balance it in a certain way. I'm not, I could have done, like I was getting into it, track bars. I could easily have done wedge even during a race. But instead, all I'm doing is working with the tire stagger. And I've been having some very good results. If you notice, the right front is running like 240 and the right rear about 220. And that's good, because it was worse starting out. It was like getting really, really tight. Here I'm 2% tight. That was trippy. I'm only 2% tight here, 3%. And I was getting like 7-8%. Just to hold my line, I hit the brake there. But you see, it handles really, really well. I love a good handling setup because it allows me to do stuff that other people can't do, or just stuff that I do that I prefer to do. When you have a setup that's too far on the edge, you tend to be a slave to however the hell it needs to be driven. See, I like this setup because I can go inside, I can go outside. And he went middle. He went inside. That would have been much more impressive. But still, he got past me. And yet, we're, I don't know, 25 laps in, 24 laps into this run. And, it does get a little tight, but I'm not, I don't have a clear track, so I'm not really driving it like I want to. We're 4% tight. So we're probably going to get tighter, but we've also gotten faster. I'm in traffic, but if I wasn't in traffic, I could probably pull down 24 twos like I was doing at the end of last run, which is fast for a truck at Dover on old tires. So we got 110 laps in the third stage. We came in with 90 to go. I got 36 laps in the tank. 81 to go, 80 to go, so 35, 75, 45. So we got one more pit stop if we don't have a caution. We had, I believe, 2 cautions in the first stage, and we pitted, nobody else pitted, we managed to win. We were leading, so we could have stayed out and won anyway, but I was making adjustments. That's when you make adjustments early in the race. I'm not an engineer. I don't have a team of engineers in the research and development department working for me. They'll tell me, okay, do this, 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 and this. You got 30 laps to go, and that's the fastest, you can get out of this car. I don't have the benefit of that, as most of us don't. So, I gotta go with my gut. And there's no substitute for fresh tires. That's why in league racing, with very few exceptions, everybody pits and gets tires when there's a late caution. Kind of count on it. Now, one of the things I was concerned about and why I changed the tire pressures is the right sides were wearing way too much. So I was trying to figure out how to maintain the, big out of the gas. No, I didn't hit the brake there. Let the engine do the braking. and so the tires are wearing weird, and it wasn't handling right, and I kind of fixed most of that with the setup. I got the speed, you know, you can always use more speed, but I got you know, good enough speed to contend for the wins in my league races, and now I'm just trying to fine tune it. And one of the benefits of is a lot of times just trying to fine tune it, yeah, it starts to handle better. Because this was a real ornery setup to drive. Now I'm like, yeah, it kind of drives itself for the most part. If you hit your marks, see, I'm not clear, but that left side tire is in the white and keep it there. See, my right side's went down. All my tire pressures dropped. Even though I'm killing it, and when they drop like that, you get better tire wear. I mean, this is killer tire wear. It's killer temperatures for this guy. A 5 is, you know, like, not bad. I prefer 4s, but I was hitting 2s at this point. Caution. Yeah, well, it's the benefit. It's one of the detriments. So we're 5% tight. It's still too tight. So let's go all the way here. I just did a big swing. Right? Let's do that, because I've been doing that, and everything's been getting better and better and better. So only take as much gas as you need. So let's see what this does. So I'm the leader, so I'm gonna have some free track. And this is a particular track that I set my restart gears up to be in 3rd gear by the time I hit turn 1. Because you don't want to be shifting through turn 1 and 2 here. You know, it tends to be very tight. And you slip just a little bit, and now you wreck the whole field, no matter where you are. Doesn't feel bad. Now, I'm not a big fan of running 60 PSI at tracks like this, but the argument is you're going so fast through the turns that you need the extra tire pressure to take the weight going through the turns so you don't get loose or tight. Because opening up the stagger tends to make it looser, and that's all I've been doing, is opening up the stagger. There's more room for other adjustments, but I have to mess with track bars and such. You can't do during a race, unfortunately. Because I'd like that left rear to engage more and take some of the pressure off the right front. It's not bad. I mean, look, here we are, 250. Yeah, I was like 280. I did that. Yeah, it's loose, like, well, it's not loose. It can get loose the first 4 to 5 laps, and then it starts to build tight. So I open up the stagger more, so it'll probably stay looser a couple laps longer. But I'm hitting it, you know. Oh, we got 285 there. I'm hitting it hard. And I've seen this in some very fast setups at some of the bigger ovals like Homestead, where they start off with like 300 temps on the right sides, and then after about 5 laps, you know, they go down. They go down, you know, they go, you know, 300, 290 something, 290 something, 280 something, and then they calm down, and halfway through the run they're like in the 230s, you know, kind of thing, and they're fast. So, and you know, tracks are different. But when you see a pattern that is something that you've noticed can be good, and now you've adjusted your setup to where you're kind of seeing the same pattern, that's a cool thing, man. Some of the things I look for my best setups is right side tire wear. It's still a little tight. Right side tire wear. And right and left side temps. So these are a little high, but we're at the beginning of the run. We're in times 1, so we got 60 plus laps. So this is like, if you run times 2, then what you're seeing happening here, whatever lap, you can cut that in half for times 2 very easily. And so if you're doing 63 laps here, you're probably doing 31, 32 at times 2, which is a very popular wear. Times 3, it's, a little bit less than that. Probably like 25, 26. But that's your whole fuel run. See, my whole fuel run is 60. So halfway through is 30 laps in for me. And we're just 1% tight starting off. But it's not handling tight. In fact, it's looser, because I've opened up the tire stagger, so I got a lot of pressure on the right front, but it is not, causing a handling issue. In fact, it's making it easier to drive so far. But I really won't know until it's a little slidey, but it starts off that way. That's why I got the temps up, so I'm basically racing, but I'm testing. I had 6 cars in the lead lap, so even if I mess up, I gotta see it. It holds, it doesn't slide that much. Now you see the left front. Look at it in the turn. See, it's already down to right around 200, okay, say 210. Well, remember how I was complaining that some of the other setups, the left front halfway through the run was up in the 240s, 250. Yeah, it might be a good setup, but that's not a balanced setup. When you see temps like these, this is a much more balanced setup, and it just feels, it's like it's driving itself. Basically, I'm just the steering wheel holder. Yeah, I'm driving it, but I'm not fighting it. I'm not, I'm just hitting my marks and keeping it off the wall, because it will slide a little bit, especially on older tires. They do have that 4-wheel slide built in. That is normal. And if you look at the tire temps, the left sides, the middle of the tire is a little bit deflated, so you get a little bit more grip on the left side. And if you notice the right sides, the middle is hotter, which means it is a little bit overinflated, which makes it a little floaty, a little slidey, but it also gives you that kind of high bank bite you need. And if you get that balance right, then you could be really fast. But you also got to know, how to drive the track. The two ends are different. As we spoke before, here you're going downhill into turn 3. And you have a tendency to pick up a mile or 2 an hour more just from being on the backstretch going downhill. And going down into turn 1, you notice you're a little bit slower. Yeah, we were held up. Running 24 threes. I don't think that's bad, but we don't really get clean laps. And it does feel it's a little bit different this one. So I made 2 big swings. I added 2 pounds to the right side tires last time, and then I just did it again. You guys joined. There's 24-2. So yeah, when you gotta navigate traffic, you can't run as fast as you want to. See, I'm off the gas more, gauging it because I don't want to slide up, and I want to slip to the outside and get past them. So here, you could say that cost me 0.4 of a second for what I probably could have run based on what I ran, the lap before. Inside. See? Hold this outside. You have to drive it when you go to the outside and such, but that it handles well, it just makes it so much easier. See, it's not slipping off, it's not over rotating. It's very stable. It's to the point where it's like I'm fighting it a little bit too much the whole race to turn, but when I yank it, it's turning. So even though I might be abusing another setup, this setup enjoys it. But that also means if I can work that out a little bit, through some other adjustments, I might have some more speed in this setup. Because we're still 4% tight. Still. And this is a track, that you get down into the turns very hard in all 3 series, and you're gonna get right front tire wear. So, but I also know from my sim racing experience and guys like Jimmy Johnson, if you can get it off the right front, you can pick up some speed. So we maxed out everything we can do with tire stagger. So what I call the lever on this setup this race has been tire stagger. Now, at an oval track like this, a fast, tight oval, I can loosen it up, but I don't like to. Because see, I'm holding the inside, it's driving where I want to, I can cut down if I want. The wedge is good right now. So if I want to loosen it up and get it off the right front, I have to make a different kind of adjustment. And I can't help the one thing that's staring at me, and a pet peeve of mine in this game, the limited amount of adjustments you can make, is the left rear. Left rear is not engaged. So if I could shift that 4% wear from the right front to the left rear, and that's a diagonal shift. That's not so easy to accomplish. It's something I fight at about, 85% of the tracks. I've kind of got a better balance at a few tracks. And those tracks tend to have, gotten me really, really fast. We got 42 laps. 49 laps of gas. Yeah, it'll probably be less laps to go. Let's just put it up half a pound. Half a pound should be good for 2%. So we should be 2% less tight. Remember, we started off, we just went 2%, then 4, and then we were at the point halfway through the run where we started to get a little tighter. Now, why air pressure? Well, if the setup builds tight, air pressure builds also. So the air pressure that you start is your starting air pressure. That's why it'll handle differently at the beginning of a run than the middle of the run. So you're not setting it up for the beginning of the run. That's a qualifying setup. You're setting it up, well, I'm setting it up for what it's going to do after the middle of the run, because that's where usually everybody's setup goes to shit. Not everybody, but you know, most people's setup goes to shit. See, it's a little looser starting off, but totally manageable. I can manage it a little easier now that I know about how loose it'll be. But see, I can already tell my original solution is to get the left rear engaged. Make it loose from the left rear. Because the right rear is a little bit... If you get the right rear too loose, then you start to slide up into the wall off the turns at a really fast track. You need that bite. So tight setup tends to work a little bit better until you can, you know, get all four corners of the car involved. So we are, I would say, in this setup, we might be 90% of the max speed we can get out of this, 85%, but we are like 3/4 of the way actual setup wise. So we have a fair amount of work to do, but it's all fine tuning at this point. And you know, like you've heard me say many times before, a tenth a lap is the difference between winning and losing a race. And if you notice, the right sides are a little bit lower temps already. See, to me, those are all great signs. But we need that left rear to be 198, 202, somewhere in there. And when we achieve that, we'll probably have to back off some of the looseness that we put into, say, like the right rear. Because you know, the right rear tire can't do everything. You know, if you ask it to do too much, it's gonna fail. So we're just on the edge of what we can do with this setup. I can see with in-race adjustments. I can probably get a little bit radical, maybe take some tire pressure out altogether, all four tires. But we're in the last run of the race, more than likely, so we just need to keep our nose clean and look at what it does. You know, we're 1% tight. I think we were about 2% tight at this point last run when I mentioned it, and it's not looking bad. So everything we've done has been an improvement. Tiny little slight backwards on the start, but a lot of times when you're doing in-race adjustments, you know, basically all you can do is get it faster at the beginning of the run, or get it faster at the end of the run, or some variation on that theme. Not often that you can make an in-race adjustment and just make it better all over the place. It happens sometimes, but that's usually a bigger ask. It's a little bit slidier like it was at the beginning, but we're still not halfway through the run, right? Because that'll be about 20 something laps to go on gas. And we have less gas in the car because we only take as much as we need to get to where we're trying to go. Here it's the checkered flag. See? If your truck isn't handling right, you can't do that. Turns in. It's not too loose in. And see now, a few more laps later, we're not too loose off. I put it just about where I want to. Left side tires. I haven't touched the left sides. Left side tires are looking good. They're already down to 200 on the left front. So, and you know, this is a fun truck to drive. And if you, I noticed something, even though the temps are different, it looks like the right front to the right rear is just about 20 degrees. And that's a good thing. So some tracks you can get away with 10 degrees difference, hotter on the right. You always want the right front to be hotter, with certain track exceptions. Track like this, yeah, because you're getting on the right front very hard. Flatter tracks tend to be a little bit like that, a little bit more like that. And 20 degrees, 10 degrees. If you're going the other way, about 20 degrees maximum the other way. You know, from the right sides, it wasn't me. From the right side tires, see, we can do this. Let's see. This helps. It might just make it take longer to come in, but well, that's what practicing is about, and nobody has fresh tires except for me, so it shouldn't make much of a difference. But yeah, 10 degrees difference is kind of normal. 20 degrees, it depends on the track. Like I go to track like Richmond or Martinsville, I'll look at 20 degrees. This track is kind of, you know, it's kind of like a big Martinsville, but with huge banking. So, you know, 24 degree banking. So it's like, it's kind of in between. So, you know, it's not that there are exceptions. It's like each track is unique. And the way, I firmly believe the way this game handles the tracks is they're literally built as individual games. So like, oh. So what this truck is doing here at Dover only has a certain amount of relativity to, like, say, Kansas. It also has 24 degree banking and returns, though less tight, you know, more sweeping. Whereas, you know, you used to be able, it's the mile-and-a-half ovals, they call them the cookie cutter tracks. I love them. They're my favorite part of NASCAR racing, to me. They're so unique to every other sport, you know. Yes, every road course is unique, yeah. But I mean, you know, like, nobody else races on, you know, mile-and-a-half ovals, which is very cool. Anyway, yeah, so you want to figure out what your, you know, when your car's handling good, because a lot of times what'll happen, your car will be handling bad at one point and good at another. And typically what I see a lot of, not necessarily for me, but for other guys, it's like it starts off not so good, it gets really good, and then it goes to shit. So it's like the first quarter of the run sucks, and the last quarter of the run sucks. We're gonna do it again. 14 laps to go. Can't stay out, but see, this is good. This is good. See this. Let's try this. Shits and giggles. If you're doing qualifying, getting all these even can help you go faster at a particular track. You know, so you need to know what the wear on a good setup looks like. You know, what the temperatures on a good setup looks like for that track. And that's why I'm on this screen the most. It not only gives you your gas mileage, so you don't have to figure it out. I know some guys figure it out, but this game is not great with gas mileage. You know, I tend to lose gas mileage in the third stage. So whatever I ran first and second stage, if I say, oh, I can do X laps, yep, I'm running out a lap before the checker. If I just go by that. So, and how you drive it, you know, makes a big difference. I'm on the gas a lot, so I use more gas. You know, like this setup, if you really look at how I'm driving it, I'm all over the place. Heavy on the gas. See, yeah. I'll talk about that later. So, I know I'm a gas hound. I've adjusted my gearing, you know, to help for that, which has helped me build some faster setups, you know, which is a great compensation. Yeah, I don't have to let off until deep, and then I get right back on. That's a lot of gas. Just a little bit loose. Cut it a little bit too. So it's a little loose all around. But this is the beginning of the run. We haven't put 5 laps in. We're about to. Beginning of the run, if you notice, I'm winding the wheel out so it doesn't spin me out. At the end of the run, since it builds tight, I kind of have to coax it to not, you know, slide up into the wall. So I'm turning the wheel more as the run goes on. And getting on the gas in the right spot helps you turn in. That's 3 laps. So it's getting loose off 4. Getting tight off 2 is normal, so even though it's loose, turn 2 likes that, turn 4 doesn't. I caught it. It was going to go, and I caught it. That's 4 laps. If I drove it like that off 4, it would over-rotate at the moment. So the tire temps on the right sides are even. So a little more aggressive on my entry, and there we go. Kept it. Held it. And I moved corner 1. Not too badly. Keeping that left side in the white. Letting it drift up right to the wall there. It gets tight right there. Because I want to point it more, but it won't let me. It's the last lap. Yeah. We did 23.662, almost the record. But not. Learned a lot. So what I'll do is I'll go back, as always. I can't do it this race, but what I will do is I will go back and I will see, next time I come here, I will see what the adjustment I finished with, and I will, if I'm working on the setup, I'll test it, you know, with that configuration, and then I'll, you know, maybe tune it on a little bit, because it's just a little too loose starting off, and if you're in a league race, you don't really want that, because that's when most of the cautions happen. So if you're a little loose and somebody, you know, bumps into you the wrong way, which happens all the time, and you don't want to be the one that's spinning around and that's to restart, you know, 12th or 15th or whatever. but it handled really good. I just feel that there's more speed. See, a little tight. We're looking at the left front. See, a little tight. But really good. That's the first stage. Yeah, we had a caution in the first stage. I forget, there's no glitch in the truck or the Xfinity series. It's mainly the Cup that just, like, you know, fast forwards the first stage or two. Well, at 158, well, I guess, oh, because nothing happened. It was a 45. Well, we're in stage 3 already. 200 laps. Yeah, see, it wasn't me. So I won the first 2 stages. They ended like, no, the second stage ended, I don't believe, with a caution. I just had a lead. I was lapping people. Got everybody but 6 cars lapped down. That's a good setup. And you can do that with the highest AI on Heat 4. If you do that in Heat 5, that's even better. Here we go. Is that last 10 laps? Yeah. So it was 10 laps to the end. Yeah, and that's when it started handling normal. So interesting. All in one lap. Look at that. That was my worst 3-wide pass of the day, of course. You know, all you see. We take the lead. And the checker. So, another excellent day. Nailed everything. With almost the whole field lap down. Money. Only 100. I won everything at only 178,000 with 122 merch payout. So here you go. This is like the new economic model for like everything. You know, it's like you're not going to get a lot from the core thing that you're doing. I mean, even musical acts have the same issue. They go in there and they get paid, say, $30,000 for the show, and then they make, you know, $500,000 on merchandising and stuff. And that's really why they go out and tour. And that's why they only go out and tour when they know they can sell out or almost sell out the entire tour, because nobody shows up. They ain't paying the bills. So. And that's why sometimes they adjust their schedules. You know, if they're going to the next town and there's 50% ticket sales, and you know, racing can be the same way. It just doesn't happen as quickly. There's a lot more involved in racing, sponsors and stuff. But you know, you don't support them, they ain't gonna be there. Fastest lap. 186 out of 200 laps left. Well, all those times I came from, you know, like 10th, 7th, or 8th. There's only 14 laps I didn't lead. Wow. So we're gonna go into Xfinity, so we'll do probably a short setup video for Xfinity. Okay, we're to 1.1. I did get a little damage, but didn't show. 79 is like the best you're gonna get. Yeah. I don't even remember touching these people. Okay, so Xfinity will be up next. And it will be Charlotte Xfinity. Okay, we had a really good setup for there. We still don't have 100% car, so that's what we'll do next time. We'll do a... What are we going to do with the Xfinity team car now that we're like 90% there? Thank you for watching. Please like, share, subscribe, comment, ask questions. Please. Thank you for watching.